Well, if you missed last night's WGN Investigates, let's catch you up. With the help of the Illinois Answers Project in Block Club Chicago, we told you about the rat race being reported in just about every Chicago neighborhood.
Yeah, more than 50,000 rat-related complaint calls were made to 311 last year. Here's part of what our investigation uncovered. A warning, you may not necessarily like what you see. They are big and they are fast. Yeah, that's part of our report that aired last night. We're going to keep talking about this. What's being done to address the rat problem in Chicago? Here with more on the series of reports is Casey Toner with the Illinois Answers Project. Hello to you.
Hello, thanks for having me on.
Yes, of course. And all of us sort of worked on this together, Block Club Chicago, the Illinois Answers Project, and WGN Investigates. And I'm wondering what has been the reaction today that you guys have received, because I've gotten a number of calls from people saying, from every neighborhood saying, we have a rat problem here, we have a rat problem there. So what do you think, is the city sort of doing enough to address it?
I think the issue is that people are feeling like they're overrun by rats at this point. Last year there were 50,000 rat complaints in the city of Chicago, and the year before that there were more. And you know, this is more rat complaints than the city has seen going back to 2010. And since the pandemic, you know, the city has just been overwhelmed.
And it's easy to roll your eyes and say, oh, it's rats, it's a big urban city. But in Lourdes's report last night, she interviewed people who, one family actually had to move out of their apartment because the problem had gotten so bad. So the city would say, oh, we go out and we find people who are not keeping their trash bins covered or who have properties that are conducive to an exploding rat population. You guys found a woman who doesn't even live in the city, who's been fined and hasn't paid him.
Yes, what we found is that there are dozens of companies that are managed by a woman in Northbrook, Susie B. Wilson, and these companies have been fined more than $15 million in rat-related tickets, and most of these fines have not been paid.
Okay. But if we don't pay our red light fines, they double. How do you get away with not paying rat fines?
True, and the city says that they're trying to go after her, and you know, they're taking her to court, and you know, they're doing all these things to try to get the money back. But I think it's entirely possible that they just hadn't really put the size of this together, because she has all these different companies that have different names, and it can be hard to kind of look at the bigger picture unless that's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's not just her. We reported that there's tens of millions of dollars that are not being paid in some of these rat-related tickets. And so the question becomes, is there anything more than that the city can do or should be doing to address it? Has anybody come to you from the city sort of saying, okay, we saw your story, this is what we're going to do moving forward? Not
yet, but it's very early. The story published today, and you know, as you know, you were saying that we've just heard from a lot of people that are very, very interested in this. And so I would be surprised if something happened going forward.
And I thought the interesting part, too, that it's not just businesses or companies being ticketed, but there's also local agencies that have been cited as well, and they also are having issues paying back those fines.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you think of, you know, offenders for rats, you think of people that don't clean up after their dogs, you think of people that don't, you know, close their dumpsters. But we found is that there's other government bodies that have been cited by the city of Chicago, such as the Chicago Housing Authority, the Cook County Land Bank Authority, and these are places where they're letting their properties get overrun, or you know, there's rat holes that they're not treating. In one case, in the Rogers Park neighborhood, we found that there are 20 rat holes outside this, you know, public housing building, and you know, more than 2 months after the complaint was, you know, first raised, the city finally got around to servicing it. You know, so this issue with rats is affecting everyone.
And if the city's not going to follow up and actually force people to pay the fines, why does somebody have an incentive to actually comply?
Correct. I mean, rules are only as good as people following them, right?
Yeah.
And that seems to be an issue here, from you know, the small potatoes people to you know, the Susie B. Wilsons of the world who manage companies that owe $15 million.
Yeah, and one of the things that the city said, and as they talked to us, gave us their statement, is they said that their staffing levels were sort of lowered because of the pandemic, and now they're getting back to full speed. So.
Right, and at a time when there are more complaints than ever, the City of Chicago Bureau of Rodent Control has lost a quarter of its employees. And they have benchmarks that they set themselves to respond to these complaints, 5 days. In recent year, they've blown those deadlines, 8 days, 10 days. And there's some neighborhoods in Chicago where it has taken 2 weeks to respond to these complaints.
Okay, Casey Toner, thank you. We appreciate your time. You can find more on these stories on our website, WGNTV.com. Up next, you're changing